Over the years, I've removed and implemented a ton of different habits in my life. Some has had a huge positive impact by actually removing them, while simultaneously some habits have been awesome to implement into my life. So in today's video, I want to go over the top 10 habits that has completely changed my life. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the first habit that I quit that I want to talk about is actually quitting caffeine, tobacco, and alcohol. And truth be told, I drink some alcohol from time to time, very occasionally, like when I eat dinner with my family or friends or something like that, I can take a glass of wine. And I was never like a heavy drinker or anything like that. But I never go out and like heavy partying like I did when I was younger, because it's really not sustainable if you're trying to achieve any specific goal in your life. But quitting tobacco was a huge one. And here in Sweden, we do something called snus, where we basically have like a little pouch of tobacco that we use under our upper lip. And that is something I did for years, and quitting that was really hard actually. And the reason why I quit was basically because I had stomach ache, or I thought I had ache in my heart. Basically my doctor told me that, like, hey, are you using tobacco or like chewing a ton of gum? And at that time I was chewing a ton of gum and using a lot of snus as well. And she basically told me, hey, you should stop using tobacco. And I did, and it was hard for like 1 year. But now I'm so happy that I actually did quit it. A huge one for me, however, is to quit caffeine. And I thought quitting caffeine would be super easy. I drank quite a lot of coffee actually, but I never expected that it would be so hard to actually quit caffeine. The first 2 weeks I had like urges to really drink coffee, but then after that it kind of disappeared and I thought I was done with it. But over the next 3 to 6 months, I would actually say 6 months, I was super tired. I was actually kind of depressed and my motivation went down like crazy. I also slept a ton as well. And I urge you to look up what caffeine actually do to your brain. It kind of blocks the receptors into your brain that makes you feel tired. So when you stop drinking caffeine, it's like paying back the taxes to yourself. It's like paying back a big loan to the bank, and that is in terms of your sleep or your restfulness. So quitting caffeine, alcohol, and tobacco had a huge impact into my life, and I'm so happy that I actually did. The second habit that truly transformed my life was to implement some type of mindset routine every morning and night. So the first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is that I go through my goals and my mindset. So some affirmations and really just repeating to myself of what it is that I'm actually trying to achieve with my life. And I also do the same thing before I go to bed, because I want my subconscious mind to kind of work on and chew on the goals that I want to achieve. And quite often when I wake up in the morning, I have new ideas of what I should do, like create this new advertising campaign, create this new angle, try this specific business route, etc, etc. And creating a mindset text for yourself is super simple. You basically just need to sit down, give yourself some time, remove all distractions, and sit down with a pen and paper and just think through what you really want to achieve in your life or within your business. Because most of us kind of go through life in this stressed out state, constantly feeling that we need to complete things or do this or do that. We never give ourselves some time to actually sit down and do some quality thinking and thinking through of what it is that we're actually trying to achieve. So I can highly urge you just to create a definite chief aim for yourself and for your life or for your business, and repeat this mindset text to yourself every single morning and every single night. And obviously, if you've read Napoleon Hill, this sounds very familiar to you. Habit number 3 that completely changed my life was to remove all notifications from my phone. And the way I do it right now is that I have no notifications being pushed onto me, but I pull notifications to myself when I want them. So I go into my phone, turn off all notifications, and then it requires some discipline to not check your social media, not check your email, not check your notifications first thing in the morning, but actually push it through to the later hours of the day, and then use those early hours of the morning or the day to complete some heavy lifting for your brain, some quality work. And it's so crazy when you see people and their phones and their notifications is like controlling them. They have an ingrained behavior in their brain that immediately when their phone does the notification sound, they have to pull it up and look at it immediately. They can't resist it. And to me, that's like a thing controlling me. And that was the same thing with caffeine and tobacco as well, and the exact same thing with the phone. I didn't want a thing to be able to control me, but that's just my take on it. The fourth habit that has completely changed my life, and this is a big one, is to implement some type of meditation. And I tried out meditation for a long period of time, those meditation apps or just sitting still, and I didn't really like it. I couldn't really control it, and I never really got hooked on meditation at all, actually. And it wasn't until I read a book where somebody told me to look up transcendental meditation. I noticed that we had a transcendental meditation here in Sweden, in Gothenburg, and I went there and I went to a free class, and they basically told me about what transcendental transcendental meditation is, how it works, that it's basically just a mental technique where you repeat a mantra into your head and you kind of dive deep within yourself where you find peace, transcendence, and quietness. It's kind of like being asleep, but you're 100% awake at the same time. It's very weird. But I decided to test it and go for it, and transcendental meditation has completely changed my life. I started in 31st of March 2020, and I've done it twice every single day for a bit over a year now. So that's 20 minutes in the morning and then 20 minutes around 2 p.m. So if you haven't already implemented some type of meditation into your life, I can highly recommend that you do, and I can also recommend that you check out transcendental meditation. Another huge habit that has transformed my life is to read every single day. And for me, the absolute best time to actually read is in the morning. But right now I do some deep work and some heavy lifting instead between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. But some mornings when I wake up really early or when I have some time over or during the weekends, I love to read the first thing in the morning and kind of feed my brain with some high quality knowledge and understanding before I start my day. And really the best thing about reading is not the conscious thoughts that you get right away after reading the book, but it's more so the subconscious understanding that you gain over time that's gonna transform your behavior. So for example, let's say I read a really good book about copywriting or sales or some mindset book. That is really gonna get ingrained into my brain, and that's gonna change my behavior over time, unconsciously, whether I like it or not. And it's gonna help me to take positive actions that are in line with my goal. And then let's just compare that to some mindless entertainment, like watching a Netflix series, for example, just procrastinating, not putting any useful information at all into my head. That's not gonna serve me at all, and that's just gonna give my brain some dopamine to want to procrastinate even some more in the future. So by reading really good books, I can control the information that I get into my brain, and that way I can also control my behavior over time in the future. So reading books is super powerful. Habit number 6 that has completely changed my life is to complete deep work every single morning, and I just touched on this a little bit as well. Basically every single morning between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. I do some deep work. And deep work is something that I got from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. You can check it out if you want to, but it basically talks about deep work versus shallow work. So shallow work is when you sit down and work and you're distracted all the time. You have 10 different tabs opening in your web browser, you're sending text messages, you have your notifications turned on, you're checking your email constantly, you're checking your Instagram and LinkedIn multiple times during the day, simultaneously as you're trying to write a really good ad for your advertisements, for example. So shallow work is something that we need to get away from, and instead we need to implement deep work where we turn off all notifications, we remove all distractions, and we work at one thing at a time for at least 3 hours at a time, in my opinion. And that's really the only way that we can focus in on one thing and really create some high quality work. So by implementing deep work every single morning between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., I'm now able to complete more work and better work in a short amount of period of time than I did before. Habit number 7 that really transformed my life was to actually work out with a specific program. So I've been working out like seriously for 4 years, something like that. But pretty much up until now, I've just been that guy who goes to the gym and kinda wings it what I'm going to do today. So okay, today I'm gonna do some squats and some legs, and then the next day I'm gonna do some chest and some pull-ups, and then I'm gonna do something else, and I kind of winged it when I went into the gym. But now what I've done quite recently is to implement a specific workout program where I point down exactly what I'm going to do for that specific workout day. And then also I have like an Excel sheet where I track everything. So I can see that I'm constantly getting stronger over time. So after each set, for example, I will write down what the weight was and how many reps I did. And then I will track that from workout to workout so that the next week when I come back to the same workout, I can see what weight I did, how many reps I did, and I can try to do some more reps with a little bit heavier weight. And that is how I now gain strength from week to week to month to year to year. And I personally use Greg O'Gallagher's training program from Kinobody. He's awesome. I can highly recommend that you check his programs out if you haven't already. Habit number 8 that I also implemented quite recently was to actually start tracking my calories. And believe me, I've been a guy that has thought that is complete bullshit. I never really believed in tracking your calories as long as you just eat healthy foods. But I turned 30 last year and I actually started to pack on a little bit more fat than I was used with. So I listened to Greg O'Gallagher again. I joined his program where he talked about tracking your calories and basically finding your maintenance mode in terms of calories. And that's basically taking your body weight in pounds and you duplicate it by 15. protein. So in my case, that is about 2,750 or 2,800 calories that I burn every single day if I just sit still. And then what you do if you want to lose weight, you just reduce your intake calories by around 400 calories per day. So right now I'm eating around 2,400 calories, and the way that I track that is with an app called MyFitnessPal. I also do something called intermittent fasting, so I don't eat until like 2 p.m. Then I eat my lunch, and then I eat a big dinner, and then I eat some snacks before I go to bed. And I thought that tracking your calories was super hard, but if you eat kind of the same thing every single day, it's super easy to track. Some people think that's super boring to eat like the same thing every single day, but I really enjoy it. And you can really cook the same food in like new different ways by utilizing different flavors, etc., etc. Habit number 9 that I'm trying to strive for every single day is try to walk at least 10,000 steps every single day. And this is something that I do not complete every single day right now, truth be told, but I do have a dog, so I walk quite a bit. So I do walk at least like 8,000-9,000 steps every single day. But I would say most of the day I actually do like 10,000-11,000 steps when I do walk my dog. And this is just a health habit that I want to implement because it's really good exercise to be walking. And right now when we're in COVID, I can't go swimming anymore. I really enjoyed going swimming, but I can't do that. So walking is something that I truly enjoy. And it's a good exercise that you can do every single day, and a habit that you can keep for life, for good cardiovascular health, etc., etc. And then habit number 10 that has had a huge impact on my life is to quit overindulging in entertainment. Because there's so much entertainment out there today that we can overindulge in. We have like YouTube, we have Instagram, we have social media, we have Netflix, we have games, we have TV, we have programs, etc., etc., etc. There's so many things that we can indulge in for entertainment. And again, it's like a double-edged sword. Like YouTube is a great place for finding inspiration and knowledge, etc., etc. But if you overindulge in it, it's basically gonna steal all your time. You're not gonna be able to complete anything in your life, and you're gonna start procrastinating, and yeah, it's not a good thing. So the way I procrastinated a ton in the past was overthinking and also overindulging in entertainment. So I would kind of escape reality into entertainment, and then instead of taking action and actually completing things, I would instead trying to overthink stuff and trying to figure out everything intellectually before I actually started doing. And what I've come to realize now is that you have to take action, you have to implement. Nothing happens in this world without taking action. And most people don't want to take action. Most people want to be comfortable, escaping reality into entertainment, etc., etc. I'm not blaming anyone, I'm not judging anyone. I have that in myself as well, and I've been doing that for a ton of years. But to actually accomplish worthwhile things, I've come to understand that you have to have discipline over yourself and actually do the work, put in the work, and do that every single day. And most people think that doing the work is something that is hard or tough or boring, but really if you structure your day and if you control the information that you get into your head, if you put in good information and good knowledge and gain good new understanding that is relevant to your goal that you're trying to chase, doing the work and putting in the hours, it's actually really, really fun. So we can kind of hack our brain to start loving to do the heavy lifting and love doing the hard work. So yeah, if you're big into entertainment and if you're spending too much time into entertainment, I can highly recommend that you start regulating yourself and implement some type of discipline. Give yourself a life goal, a true desire that you're trying to chase, and then just do the work, dive into it. Because if you don't, pretty much your entire life can just pass and you've just spent your time watching entertainment essentially. So yeah, those are basically the 10 habits that had a huge impact into my life. So the first one was quitting caffeine, alcohol, and tobacco. The second one was to do mindset every single morning and every single night. Also turning off all the notifications on my phone is a huge one. And also implementing some type of meditation. I do transcendental meditation, is an awesome habit that I highly recommend that you do. Habit number 6 was to read every single day or read every single morning if you can. Do deep work and remove shallow work from your life. Habit number 7 was to implement some type of workout program if you do work out. And habit number 8 was to start tracking your calories. Habit number 9 that I implemented was to try and walk 10,000 steps every single day. And habit number 10 was to stop overindulging in entertainment. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, and also comment down below. Let me know what type of habits that you've implemented into your life that has had a huge impact over your life. And also let me know about the habits that you've removed that has had a huge impact on your life. So yeah, that's it. If you like content like this about entrepreneurship and mindset and how to really achieve your goals in your life, consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.